but something's different next to you. It's like my soul is set on fire, but oh, I'm starting to feel tired. 'Cause I can run, but I can't hide the feelings that I know I can't keep bottled up inside. And all I wanna know is, are you ready for the ride? What have I been waiting for? Oh, I can run, but I can't hide the feelings that I know. Take my hand, this ain't for show. I can't keep on this road alone. And all this time I thought I knew, but all this time oh, it's been you. 'Cause I can run, but I can't hide the feelings that I know I can't keep bottled up inside. And all I wanna know is, are you ready for the ride? What have I been waiting for? Oh, I can run, but I can't hide the feelings that I know. I can run, but I can't hide the feelings that I know I can't keep bottled up inside. And all I wanna know is, are you ready for the ride? What have I been waiting for? Oh, I can run, but I can't hide the feelings that I know.
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item is approval of the board agenda.
I make a motion to approve the board agenda.
Second. Motion and second.
And I will roll call. Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
And Mark Matthews.
The agenda is approved. Next item is approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion and second.
And I will roll call. Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
And Mark Matthews.
Motion carries. Consent agenda is approved. I'm fighting sinus infection, so if you can't hear me, just let me know. I'll try to speak up. Our business before the board, we have 3 different bid notifications. The pass-through warmers and coolers for cafeteria, the ISM grant equipment storage shed, and the dishwashing machine for OHS. And there's a copy of them in the package.
Motion. Second.
Motion second.
And I will roll call. Mark Matthews.
Aye.
Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
And Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Motion carries. We now have those bids. The next item is memorandum of understanding, partnership agreement with the University of Tennessee, Knoxville for educator preparation provider.
I'll make a motion to approve this MOU.
Second.
Motion second.
And I will roll call. Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Mark Matthews.
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
And Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye. Motion carries. The next one is the LEA compliance report. This is just standard.
I make a motion to approve the LEA compliance report.
Motion
Second.
second.
And I will roll call. Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
And Mark Matthews.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next one is the accountability report. This is another standard thing we have to do. Tisa. Do I hear a motion that we approve the Tisa accountability report?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second.
And I will roll call. Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
And Mark Matthews.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item is the first reading of what the high school's been working on for class ranking. Have any comments, Sean?
No, ma'am.
Okay. This is something every time we end up updating salutatorians and valedictorians, we go back and try to rework it. And I've been around long enough to remember the first reworking, which was
I will say that it may not make it perfectly where it guarantees there's one, but it will definitely get it down to where we have a very small number.
yeah, which is what we need to do.
So they can graduate in December and still be valedictorian, is that what this is, 7 semester hours?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, as far as their graduation, if they graduate in December, they still get a walk, if that's what you're asking me. So I'm assuming that they would be able to do that as well.
Okay. Well, it says to be considered for valedictorian or salutatorian. So, okay, okay.
Do I hear a motion we approve this class ranking on first reading?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second.
And I will roll call. Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
Mark Matthews.
Aye.
Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
And Dr. Danny Cross.
Motion carries. It will be on the agenda for second reading in December. We have 4 leave of absence requests: Richard Byrd, Michelle Nassingale, Lisa Gilbert, and Helen Barnes. Do I hear a motion we approve these leave of absence?
I make a motion to approve the leaves of absence.
Second.
Motion and second.
And I will roll call. Mark Matthews.
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
And Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next one is a letter of resignation from Tracy Laxton. I hear a motion we approve this letter of resignation.
Is there a problem? Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
And I will roll call. Kevin Byrd. Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Mark Matthews.
Aye.
And Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye. Motion carries. The next one is fundraiser request, middle school boys basketball, t-shirt sales. High school girls basketball free throw, and boys soccer ham and goodies sale. Do I hear a motion we approve these 3
Motion. Second.
fundraisers? Motion, second.
And I will roll call. Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Mark Matthews. Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
And Kevin Byrd.
Motion carries. The next item is budget amendments. These are just general.
I make a motion to approve the budget amendments.
Second.
Motion and second.
And I will roll call. Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Mark Matthews.
Aye.
And Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
And that is all the items of business before the board. Director's report.
So, as of now, our partnerships are pretty much underway. We still have a few that are obviously trickling in, but those seem to be doing great this year. And we do have a lot of partnerships, which we're thankful for. The Ayers Foundation, I put some information in there for you to review. Mr. Terry, because he's got to go to the game, is going to do a quick gym update for us.
Okay, just the gym project seems to be going very well. Talked to Logan Brewster Monday or Tuesday of this week, waiting on the HVAC people to get their part done, and then they'll come back in and do the rest of their continuation. Everything seems to be going right on schedule, right on time. If anybody's got any questions.
Open the door.
The door, we're getting to the, we think we have an idea, but I don't want to speculate right now. So,
Fair enough.
if I have a definite answer, I'll tell you.
And the reason I
But it's-
asked, I was up there today and seen it, and I thought, what the heck?
That wasn't us.
No, it was not any of
Huh?
our.
It wasn't us that
Oh.
did it.
Well,
Logan is he's making that right, so it'll be taken care of.
it didn't get broke into. Okay. Completion date.
They have 270 days from August the 1st, which if my math's correct, they have up until April the 27th. Don't think it'll be that long, but that, they do have until that date.
Usable. Kids in it.
And not till fire marshal approval. Again, Logan seems to be very optimistic that spring break is a realistic target, but you just never know. But until, we can't put anybody in it till the fire marshal approves. But to answer your question, 270 days is April the 27th. That's the drop dead without penalty.
Okay, do y'all have any more questions? Okay, so really quick, just a few other things. Miss Ashley Billingsley and Miss Selena were recognized by No Kid Hungry. I know they're not here tonight, they're actually at a training, on their way back from a training. They were trying to get here on time, and obviously they couldn't make it. And then Miss Love is not here because she's taking everybody's place at TCAC tonight. So all the representatives for TCAT are obviously here, so we thank Ms. Love for taking that on for us. And then there's just a few other things. You all know, Miss Kathy, she's done a great job, updating all the equipment, and I appreciate you all, approving those things for her. One thing I want to remind you all, of course, Allison is here, but, when we first started this gym project, the one thing that we said, we were going to try to pay for this and not have to get a loan, which included, we may have to access that 300,000 CD, which we've known that from the beginning. I don't know if we'll have to do that, but that is a possibility. So, just so you know, I just want to remind everybody as we get closer to, because we are in phase 3 right now. So, outside of that, you have just a Bo's rundown of the of his summary, and then also you have a summary of all of our goals across the district for our staff. So, for the month of November, I would like to hire the following people: Katie Jones, Lily Shoemaker, Troy Yaden, Kendall Mays, Anna Terry, Chantel Kidd, Luke Terry, Christopher Rice, and Monica Laborious. And that's all I have.
Okay, very good. Sean, do you have anything?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Love, when she leaves me, she leaves me a whole plethora of things to talk about. I've got it spread out here in front of me. But she also messed up because she didn't tell me to talk about this, but I am going to talk about something that is going really, really well. I want to brag on Dr. Phillips and Zach and Kelly over the Evolve system that we have at our school. I don't know if anyone has had an opportunity to come over and watch that thing work. I get to do it every day. It is like a Cadillac of getting our kids into the school. And what's even been better than that is the fact that our TCAT kids are now accountable for when they're at TCAT. It checks them in when they're at TCAT. I know who's there and who's not and who's late. So now our tardy policies and attendance policies that we use at our school is now being implemented at TCAT. That's a pretty big deal for that to happen. And I just want to thank you guys for getting that. That's really made my job a lot better. And I feel a lot better about knowing where our kids are. Anyways, that's something she didn't tell me to talk about, but I just thought I'd take a moment to thank you guys for that.
You can keep talking about it.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, it is, I could go on for days about how absolutely wonderful it is. And it is just so smooth. And it almost, sometimes when you're going through it, you're like, how did we do this before we got here? Because it is that good. It is absolutely wonderful. Anyway, on to now Ms. Love stuff, okay? All right, so Ms. Love also wanted me to brag on the elementary school and the middle school, on the foundation that they are building for us at the high school, because we got this year's freshman class that took the pre-ACT. And when they took the pre-ACT, they scored 15% higher, meaning that all those kids that are scoring 18 or higher on the pre-ACT, they're 15% higher than it was. 39% of our kids scored 18 or higher on the pre-ACT compared to 24% the year before, which is a pretty good deal. And so I'm not trying to throw shade on the kids before, because another good number that happened is that on our ASVAB test, our 10th graders scored 31, they had to score 31 or higher to be able to get an EPSO, and meaning that's freshmen, something that normally they get as a junior, meaning that they're being college ready, early post-secondary opportunities. As freshmen, they already have, 51% of our freshmen already have one. That's a big deal, guys. I mean, that's they're hitting the ground running. We're going to be way ahead of this thing as we go forward. Let's see, other things that she told me to talk about. Also wanted to praise Gretchen and Sherry for all their help on administering the pre-ACT and the help with the ACT test. I don't know if people even knows how smoothly that's going on, and I want to just, when Rick Harper first stepped in as the principal, me and Stacy, we were like, didn't know a whole lot about what we were doing, but one thing that he wanted to make sure we was doing right was making sure that we were administering tests correctly. And he made me scared. I didn't know, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a big deal. And with having a testing environment in the lower gym now, to where we're able to test that with no disruption throughout. Mark Martin has been phenomenal in that. Gretchen's been phenomenal helping us with that. Let's see who else. And Sherry's been phenomenal, and also Ms. Love has been phenomenal at helping us get that. where it works through our school and be able to administer tests. And it's just, it's wonderful. Also, let's see, moving on to the next thing, I went through the 10th grade. Let's see, oh, yes, I went over testing environment. Oh, last thing, oh, no, this one. She also wanted me to go over this piece of paper here, and she also wanted me to make sure I held up this data. She wants you guys to see that we're very data-driven in the high school, that we are literally driving, so I'm trying to do everything she tells me to do. I've literally got notes on what to do. So this is the freshmen, this is the sophomores, and she wanted me to make sure that I talked about the fact that our composite scores are really going up, and also our reading scores. And guys, if our kids are reading strong, it makes this composite score go up, and our kids are really reading well, and you can see it in the testing data as they go, as they're beginning to move upward. And she also wanted me, and again, talking about the testing environment in our school. Having this in a kid's hand, this is a student's individual pre-ACT breakdown of how he did that test. I mean, everything's broke down. They can see where they're strong, where they're not as strong at, where they need to work, and not only that, it goes through each section, the science section, the math section, and it breaks down each component of that on where they need to work to get their ACT scores up. Testing has really become something that we're working on trying to get to go in the right direction, and we're using data to try to get that in that direction. And the last thing she wanted me to talk about is that we are I need to talk about Jason too. Paying for that pre-ACT, which he left before I had time to say it. CTE helped, and I'm saying this correct, so I put my notes on it. The CTE helps us fund doing the pre-ACT with our students, which is something that we're very, very thankful for. Let me make sure I've got all the people, and she scribbles across the top of a lot of things, so I'm just trying to make sure that I get each one of these things that's scribbled across these notes of all the people that I was supposed to be thankful for. See, I've got Gretchen, I've got Sherry, I've got Jason, and I think that's all the people I need to thank. But and I'm also thankful for the board and thankful for the opportunity that you guys give us to be able to be associated with these great students that we have here. And the facilities they're wonderful. We have the nicest school system that I know of around. And I say that with, I'm not saying it with a shamed face, I'm not lying. It is absolutely wonderful where we get to work, and it's a joy for me to be there. So with that being said, the last thing that she wanted me to talk about. She has, because she's an artsy person, and this, Dr. Phillips always tells me if I was the artsy person, she'd be worried about me. And so these are thankful leaves, and it's here at the fall of the year. If you guys want to come and write down what you're thankful for, and we'll stick it on our tree, but people are putting it on there, and they're putting different things they're thankful for. When she handed me mine, of course I wrote down thankful for Miss Love, thankful for Miss Andrea, and of course I said thankful for Miss Patty. And that way I got all the people that keep me from getting in trouble at school on my thankful list. And so, so if you guys will take one of these, I would appreciate it. You can do one or two things, you can give it back to me and I'll stick it on, but we would also like to welcome you to come into our school, to come around and take a look at what's going on there and stick it on there yourself, okay? Because we appreciate to have you there. Thank you.
Thank you. You've already taken care of the middle school and elementary. Kelly.
I provided you with the October monthly report. Just want to say that Homeland Security come in. Last month we did the site assessment with the elementary, and this past month we were able to do the middle school and high school. It's just every 3 years they come in and walk through our assessments that we do, the security assessment that we do at the end of every school year. But they come back through and go over all 200 plus questions with us one by one to make sure we answered them correctly. But the findings are exactly what we put down. Some things we thought we weren't doing, and they were like, but you are doing this, just because the wording is very outdated on those. So some of the things, one of them, and you've heard this before, is that we need Knox boxes at all the schools. Well, they kind of went away from that and said, you really don't need that, because you all give your local police department, you give THP, you give your first responders that need access to the building with a key card. So we've not had to do that. The biggest finding that they found with this is that our classroom doors are not lockable from the inside. the middle school part of the grant before I left, that we had money left, that I was able to do that at the middle school, and I replaced every lock on the middle school side. I wrote a grant, was supposed to know something in October before the government shut down. It was a government grant. I'm still hopeful that things will open back up and we'll possibly get that grant. And I think I've mentioned this before, if we do that, we will be able to put a key card system on every classroom door. So instead of having a physical key, they'll be able to swipe in and out of the classroom, so they'll remain locked at all times. But that was the biggest finding that they found with us, was just that. And the second one was enclosing our campuses. And I just was pretty honest and said that's probably never gonna happen, because that's one of the priority standards, is fencing in and being able to shut off your entire campus. And I just don't know that that'll ever happen, but it's not a big deal that we, they like for us to have those priority standards and us to work on those. So we're very thankful for Mr. Jeffries and Mr. Jeffers. They come in and they are wonderful to work with, and that's been really good. The State Department also came in and did a safety site assessment with us, and Allison Rutherford is our safety consultant, and we did that at the middle school. That was the chosen school this year, and she wrote an excellent report on our safety there till the doors were locked, which is always their biggest thing, is they check classroom doors. But everything that we had put on our safety assessment from last year, she checked off and it matched as well. So we got really good reports from both of those. We also, if you'll notice, the middle school playground has completely been fenced in now. We were able to do that through the public school safety grant. We got a little over $26,000. So we were able to take that money and do 2 fences that really needed to be done. One of them is the elementary school playground. I think Miss Ashley's gonna go back. She has some funding there to help. So there were some safety upgrades that she really wants to do inside the building. So we're gonna kind of move that funding around to fit the safety things that she needs within her building. We did our first staff wellness event, and I apologize that I did not invite the board. I did not think about it because I put it on our new communication platform that I have not put you all in yet and signed you up for. So I apologize for that, but we went to Leatherwood Overlook, Mr. Brown and myself and 2 other staff members, but we had a good time. It was good. We took a short hike. We didn't do a long one this time, and they've decided instead of quarterly, we should do this every month. Mr. Brown wants to hike in the snow, so I said, find us a hike, we'll do it. So I think it was actually really good for 2 of our staff members that went with us, so that's something I would like to continue. And then, let's see, basketball, I know that Sean had talked about our Evolve weapon detection system. We are going to implement that at basketball games this year. So I put a little blurb in Dr. Phillips' newsletter to make sure that everybody knows that you'll only be able to enter through those back doors. I've asked that, staff, kids, guests don't go open the front doors, side doors, whatever, to let people in, because as you know, every day almost that it feels like that the news is popping up with some kind of security issue at a school somewhere. So we're going to ask that all people walk through our Evolved weapon detection systems, not as a punishment at all. It's just the safety of our kids, our fans, and everybody that's there. So we'll use that system there as well. Really easy. The only thing, honestly, we have it that it alerts on with our kids are their binders or their eyeglass cases. That has been the 2 biggest alerts that we have. I met with the Evolve guy on Wednesday of this week, and he said when he pulled our data, he said, I knew coming in that you're a small school. He said, but when I pulled your data, I was blown away. He said, y'all are rocking it. He said, do you have a pass-around table? And I said, we do. And he said, it blows my mind. Y'all are only alerting on 4% of your bags at those schools that are having to be physically checked. Because we're asking those kids to pull those binders, those eyeglass cases out, laptops and umbrellas. Those are the 4 huge things that'll set it off. That is not a weapon. So that's been really good. But we're just going to do the same thing with basketball games just to keep everybody safe. We also, and Jason can kind of speak to this. Jason and I was in Chattanooga chatting with Jason on our new rapid radios. We have gotten, every school should have about 10 apiece, plus every bus will have one installed on the bus. Both central office buildings have a radio, but they are called rapid radios, and they work off Wi-Fi signal. There was only one place that it dropped to 1 bar, which was in the 5th grade pod at the elementary school, but I could still hear Jason just as clear as anything. When I was in Chattanooga walking down the street at a meeting, I could still talk to Jason. You can take them across the world, so they have been great for our staff to be able to monitor, especially if we have a situation, but putting them on the buses so we have access to all the bus drivers too. So that was paid for through the rural healthcare grant that also got us our ball weapon detection systems. And then as you can see, our October cleanup report, sickness is ramping up, happens to us every year, but I just want to commend our nurses. They only sent 44 kids home in the month of October. I just think that's phenomenal. Out of 1,500 kids that came through that clinic, they only sent 44 of them home. So they are just doing a phenomenal job, and I want to commend the elementary school staff. We had an incident a couple weeks ago with a staff member, and they just reacted, our nurses reacted, and everybody just did a phenomenal job. So just want to commend them.
Very good. You have been very busy. Isabel.
I've got quite a lot to talk about, and I'm feeling a little sick and my throat's hurting me a little, so I'm hoping maybe I'll feel better as I'm talking. Yesterday, we had a coalition meeting. I wasn't there, but I got a report from Ms. Hannah Foster. She said they collected donations for the homeless shelter, canned goods, hygiene products. Scott County and Stan did fundraisers and raised around $720 for the homeless shelter. Holiday cards were put in baskets at the homeless shelter entrance. So that's a good thing that we're doing in the community. What I want to ask next is, when is the next school board meeting? Is that December 4th? Right?
Yes. Yes.
That day is the band's Christmas concert, so I will not be in attendance for that. Sorry.
What time does that concert start? We usually try to make it there too.
I think it starts at either 6 or 6:30, but my call time is going to be 5:45 when we need to get for her.
Right.
All right. The food drive's going on, and it's in the spirit of Thanksgiving. Everybody's being thankful. With the leaves, I filled out one of those today as well. I wanted to go through the province stats surveys with everyone because I brought that up last month. And this is something that they do every semester, every year. I think it's every year. Ms. Jeffers, she does a great job at conducting these, but the questions are made up by students and the options on the surveys are made up by students. So I'm going to go through, there's 17 of them. I'm going to go through all of them. The first one got 200 student responses, and the question was, what would encourage you to go to more school events, dances, games, etc.? 34% of students said lowered ticket prices, 28% said increased awareness, 19.5% said more student involvement in planning, 18.5% said fun themes. The next one says, which teaching style produces the most effective learning? It got 175 responses. 52% said teacher and student interaction. 34% said project-based. 16% said a student-centered approach. 18.6% said lecture. Next, what is the most effective way local businesses can support students in our community? 12% said provide incentives or recognition for academic achievement. 37% said sponsor school sports teams and extracurricular clubs. 29% said offer internship or apprenticeship opportunities. 22% said discounts for students. Point when do you think the school system should allow students to use their phones? 40.1% said allowed during breaks, but not during class. 38.9% said activity period. 13.8% said library. 7.2% said as a reward because of their EOC or ACT scores. Next one says, what would encourage you to go to games and participate in the student section? 47% said they would like it if it would be free because of good behavior or academic achievement. 24.3% said better games in the student section during intermissions or timeouts. 14.6% wanted to do a competition, like a most spirited recognition. 14.1% said better prizes for like those games that they do. The next one was, how do students feel about the classroom temperatures? 45% said they were too cold. 25.5% said it varies too much. 15.4% said it was good temperature. 12.8% said it was too hot. 1.3% said administration should set a temperature.
Man. You know where I'm sitting.
The next one is about pep rally participation. What pep rally participation activity would get more people to join? 45.6% said musical chairs. 23.4% said a karaoke battle. 18.7% said a three-legged race. And 12.3% said a blindfolded cup stack. And this, I actually saw the musical chairs and the karaoke battle at one of our pep rallies, so it's good to see that administration is listening to these surveys, is listening to the students. The next one says, what elective classes would you enjoy if offered? 31% said HR/social sciences. 23% said health sciences. 12.5% said automotive. 11.9% said a wellness or a fitness class. 11.9% said agricultural sciences. 9.8% said STEM-focused classes. And the next one says, what skills should be required for graduation? 43.2% said learning how to open a checking account. 21.6% said learning how to apply for a loan. 18.9% said learning how to buy for a house. 16.3% said learning how to buy a car. Next one says, if there was a hat day every other Friday for school-wide incentives, would you participate? 35% said when possible. 23% said frequently. 20% said sparsely. 16% said every day. And 6% said they would not participate. Next one was about what do students think the pep band should play? 35.9% said Freebird. 27.1% said Blinding Lights. 22.9% said Seven Nation Army. 14.1% said All About That Bass.
Definitely very.
The next one was asking the students' opinions if they think phone legislature has changed instructional time. 57.7% said that it has not made changes. 16.7% said it's an increased focus. 14.1% said it's minimized distractions. 11.5% said it improved engagement.
That means they want you to take their cell phones.
I know, that's what I'm gonna do.
So, and then the next one is about how can we improve learning and retention. 52.2% said less homework, better workload balance. 23.6% said engaging teaching methods. 21.7% said better elective choices and diverse classes. 2.5% said access to tutoring or study help. The next one was about, it only collected data from the juniors and seniors, and only got 49 responses. It was asking what post-secondary path they would be taking. 69.4% said college, 16.3% said a technical school, 8.2% said workforce, 6.1% said undecided. Next question is asking about the best way to fundraise. 45.3% said buying food products. 39.1% said events like dances and competitions. 11.2% said an auction. 4.4% said donations monthly. Next question is what do students think would be the best way to reduce stress? 32.6% said longer lunch or more breaks. 32% said a later start time. 32% said flexible tech rules. 3.4% said access to counselors or staff. Next one is about expanding our school district. And they wanted a student opinion on how we should do that. So 39% said more college level courses. 24.3% said expand learning options with a virtual academy. 25.4% said land for construction of future middle school. 11.3% said we should switch to a private school model and limit enrollment. That's actually the last one. That's all 17 of them.
Very interesting.
And recently, I'm in my government class, so recently we did a debate in there, and maybe you've seen pictures of it. It's more of a mock trial. I shouldn't say a debate, it's more of a mock trial. And from what I heard, students really enjoyed that. So, I don't know, maybe this is something the next semester's Province Stat should do. I was thinking maybe to get student opinion on a debate team. I think that is something they would like, and it would be good to get more student voices out there. Because when given the opportunity, the majority of them do let their opinion be known. So, and that brings me to my next point. What I'd like to see is more communication between different branches, flow of communication between like a representative like myself and the student government, seeing more involvement in student government, get more student voices in there, improve communication between that, and improve communication between the school, which we're seeing improvements in that with like the between the elementary and middle school into high school. We're seeing improvements between the flow of communication there. So hopefully that's something that is something we're working on, and that's hopefully something that will improve. So, the last thing I want to say is I'm thankful for the Oneida School District for providing such a welcoming environment and good culture and having good education. I've been going to Oneida all of my life, and I think it is the best school. I think it is the best school ever. And I really want to focus on our strengths and improve that for other newcoming students who maybe don't know that. And I want them to see how good of a school this is and how good of a culture and environment we have and all the education. Because those pre-ACT scores, that's very good. I like seeing that. And that is something I'm thankful for, that we have such great teachers and such a great culture around here.
Thank you very much. I will make this comment. Of course, I've done school reviews all over. And one of the weakest areas that we always found was the communication between the buildings. And I think that is probably one of our strengths, because there's communication from elementary to middle school and middle school to high school. And then even back down high school to elementary. And you don't see that very often in schools, even if it is a small system.
I have
We
one
work
more
at it.
thing to add. I can only really speak for the senior class, so I'm thinking maybe we get more student representatives from like junior and senior, like have a group of representatives so we have a discussion going on, and it's not just from one person.
We can look at that and let you meet with them, and then you deliver their responses to us. Very good, thank you. Any other comments? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Before you leave,